Hi, this is Carolyn Bechard with QSPN Live, and I'm here with Gordy and Nick and Anya, and we are here at the old Montana State Prison, and we are they're ramping up for the annual Halloween festivities that come on here in a big haunted way. So, Gordy, would you like to tell us about that?
Well, every year around Halloween, we run a haunted house through the Montana State Prison.
Okay.
There's a lot of recorded paranormal activity down here anyway, so it makes a great venue for a good scare.
Yes. Have you seen any of that yourself?
I haven't.
No.
But some of our actors have.
Have they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of fun. And then Nick, what part do you play in this?
I'm just kind of his right-hand man. I just tell my ideas, and I'm one of the people that scares, and I help with the security part of it and all that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So tell me, what is your favorite thing about this? Why do you two do this?
I love scaring people.
Yeah. It's great to see people be scared and happy about it.
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
Okay.
they laugh about being scared so much that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's what Halloween is about, right?
Yeah.
Candy and fright.
exactly.
So, well, cool. So as far as this state prison goes, what is a little bit of the history behind it?
You know, I'm not all into the whole history of it. I don't know all of it. I know it shut down right around the beginning of the 80s before it got built. Was it the 70s?
Yep, 74, I believe.
Okay.
And that was when they built the new one.
All right.
I don't know a whole lot of the history about it.
Right.
The ladies in the shop would have a lot.
Yeah.
They have a lot more
They-
information.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Right.
Heather would definitely.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, I'm drawn down here. My dad's the head of maintenance down here.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got roped into it. They decided to go a different direction with how they were running it 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I was available and said, yeah, sure, it sounds like fun. And I'd gotten a hold of Nick, or he got a hold of me, one of the two, because he'd been involved in it over the years. And the two of us had just kind of put our heads together and brought people in. I mean, we've got our makeup artist out of Dillon, who's loves to scare.
She does a great job.
She does an amazing job with latex and everything. I mean, we have some pretty realistic makeup. And then Butte Magic out of Butte, Montana, they handle a lot of our fog, our sound systems, some of our light show, and then they perform a lot of their magic show and performances while the crowd's waiting to keep them, because we'll pack 500-600 people through here at night or more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're expecting more this year.
500 to 600
I think
people a night. That'll be
The
fun.
biggest night I've ever seen was like 850,
Mhm.
Okay.
right around there.
And you said you're revamping how you're bringing the people through because they were getting cold waiting outside. So this year it's going to be a little more comfortable for them.
It's going to be more comfortable. It's going to be just a different direction.
Okay.
They're usually coming through kind of the area we're at here, coming in the mess hall, the old mess hall, up through the west side of cell block, down the east side of cell block, and then they exit out to underneath Tower 7, which is one of the places some of the paranormal activity is scaring the girls.
Oh, interesting.
2 years ago, we had a couple girls out there scaring people as they exited, and they got literally elevated in their chairs while they were waiting between groups.
Wow.
So, and then this year, we're going to come in to the east side door of the cell block where we usually exit people, have a fairly long waiting area for people to kind of stay in. We're going to have some heaters set up, Butte Magic's going to perform, and then we'll start them in. It's a maze going through here with a couple different things. We have a moving wall.
Oh, cool.
We're running a couple different themes this year that we're going to change up for each night.
Okay.
And then we're going to run them out through a plastic-made tunnel, basically out into maximum security / the old women's prison.
Okay.
Which is where most of the paranormal activity is found in this place when they do ghost tours or the ghost channels come in and look at stuff.
Oh, fun. Well,
Yeah.
it's scary enough without the decorations, so I think it'll be a pretty good Halloween.
And we're not really decorated up yet. The maze just got set up over the weekend. A lot of our actors are all involved. I mean, they not only get paid, but they get to be creative themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How much of this is volunteer and donation, and how much is the paid area that?
Probably 75-25, 75 paid, 25 donated.
Okay.
And there's a lot of volunteer. Anybody that comes down and helps us set up is all volunteer.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
We pay for the actual nights that we perform.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, and we just found it's easier to keep people, especially the younger kids, keep them consistent
Yes.
when they're being paid, and it's
Yeah.
win-win for
Makes
some
sense.
of these kids.
Some of these kids absolutely love it.
Oh, they love it. They live for it every year.
Yeah. We have kids asking us. I had somebody ask me in June if we were still doing it.
Oh, that's great.
I'm sure
You're
we
looking
are.
forward to it
But
already.
the great part about it is they get to come down once we set up the theme for the area they're going to be located. They come down, they go through all of our props, makeup, etc., and they get to create. They get to they decorate the areas they're going to be.
Okay. Well,
So
that's really
it
cool.
keeps them involved that way too.
Yeah, it lets them show their own little bit of artistic
Exactly. It
talent.
breaks that up because if you get 1 or 2 people going through, I mean, if me and Gordy go through here, it's going to look the same all the way through here.
Yeah.
As much as we want to change it, it's going to be the same all the way through.
Right.
So instead of doing that, we get 10, 15 people to go around here and just create whatever they want because that's going to be their area for the 3 nights. So
That's great. Now, are a lot of them local high school kids?
most of them,
50% high school, yeah. We got, like I said, our makeup girls come out of Dillon, Montana.
Okay.
And then they're involved also.
Okay.
They do the makeup and then they're part of the haunt.
Okay.
Also, but pretty much everybody's local.
That is
I
awesome.
don't think we really have anybody that comes from.
we do.
Maybe 1 or 2, but
I've got one this year from Anaconda. We've got had a couple from Anaconda. One kid from Anaconda who's living in California now actually came home this weekend to do this.
Oh wow, that's cool.
He wanted to be involved and he hadn't been home in a while, so
Yeah.
he flew in at 11 o'clock last night.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool when you travel that far. So if someone is watching this and they're interested in joining this venue on Halloween around the weekend, what are the dates? What are the times? What is the cost?
So this coming Friday and Saturday, we're going to be open from 7 o'clock till 2 a.m.
Wow.
And 2 a.m. is a little fluid.
Okay.
I mean, if we have a line waiting outside, we're not going to turn them away.
Okay.
And then Sunday night will be 7 p.m. to midnight.
Okay.
And we're only going to run one weekend this year just because of the way Halloween falls in the middle of the week.
Right, that makes sense.
So we're looking to pack them in because each year we pack 2,000 people through here usually in 5 nights.
Wow.
yeah,
Awesome.
we want to break the number in 3 nights. So
Yeah.
that's what our plan is. And we do have a lot of people that go through 2 or 3 different times.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's,
They'll
yeah.
come back from Friday night to Saturday night
Yeah.
Okay.
just to see how we've changed it up.
And that's what our plan is this year, is to change it up. Like this, we've never gone out into the yard. This is the first year I've ever done that.
That looks
Out to
cool.
Mass.
There's, but the,
Yeah, it's pretty
the
rough.
tunnel getting made.
It's rough looking right now, but it's
I think it's gonna look.
we keep this as low budget as possible. I mean, the Montana State Prison has been great. We run a community fireworks 4th of July celebration down here that's completely free to anybody that wants to come down. So half of the profit of this goes to the fireworks show on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is about a $10,000 show when it's all done, and then the community businesses donate the rest. So it's turned out to be a win-win situation for the whole community.
Awesome. And what is the breakdown then for children?
12 and under have to have a parent with them.
Okay,
That's me, sorry.
you're fine. Yeah, I imagine they'd have to have a parent. Are there many young kids like that?
More than we like sometimes.
Yeah.
And we try to kind of, like when we see younger kids coming, we try to kind of steer away from them.
Okay.
Kind of
As the
older.
actor.
But I've
Person, you
also,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
But I've also had little kids be perfectly fine and their parents be.
And then the parents and the ones that are
Absolutely
freaking
scared.
out.
Yeah, and there's always an exit plan.
Yeah.
If somebody
Okay.
freaks out and can't finish, we always have a way to get them back out the
Nice.
maze and out. So,
Okay.
and we've had some older couples come through that were in their 90s. Just
And
cute
it's
little old couples that were alright. We're holding everything up so they can take their time wandering through, and they just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we always
That's
try.
awesome.
I mean, if we get somebody in the middle of the maze and they freeze up and they don't want to go anywhere, we always either have somebody, hey, just
Or one of the actors.
one of the actors go in there and just take them
Flashlight 'em
out.
out.
Yep, and that's what we do. We'll walk through there and go, no scare, no scare, no scare.
Nice.
And everybody knows that's our whole thing. We just,
We're handicap accessible,
Yep.
so we get people coming through with wheelchairs and stuff. So
So you guys are very accommodating. It's very
We-
safe.
yeah,
it's
we try to
family
be.
friendly.
definitely.
Yeah.
we
That's
really
wonderful.
try to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So is Anya gonna go through it?
I doubt it. Her mom won't go through it, so she ain't gonna go through it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How fun. Well, I'm excited to see what it's gonna turn into. I think this is
Are you guys gonna be able to come
wonderful
down and go through this weekend?
event. That's the goal.
Where are you guys
So,
from?
Bozeman and Phillipsburg.
Oh, okay.
So
Great. Yeah, so you're definitely close enough. Bring a group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring
Yep.
people.
I know we have a bus load coming from Helena.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. We should try and
And we run them
organize
through. We run people through. Usually, we try to stay no more than 10 people per group.
it. Okay.
We have gone up to 10, 12, and 15, but it really slows down the pace because you pack that many people in
In
the
one
maze.
spot.
They
Okay.
When
get
you realize
spread
the
out,
maze is
broken.
probably as wide as these two chairs right here. It's
Okay.
tough to pack more than that through there.
Right.
Because you'll get one person to scare the first little group,
Uh-huh.
but they'll
And then
miss,
the rest-
and they'll stop these guys. They'll
Okay.
stop.
Especially if they're not all people that are in the same group together, all friends.
Okay.
You get 5 people one group and 5 people another group, and you combine them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's $10 a person.
$10 a person. Okay. And 12 and under, same price?
Yes.
$10.
Yes.
Okay. That's easy to remember. Huh. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Is there, I guess one more thing that would be fun to cover is a little bit, Nick is working currently at the current state prison here at the Deer Lodge. And he has a few inmates that are there from this prison. And do you want to share anything about that?
It's actually really interesting to listen to some of them talk, just because they'll tell you how this place was ran. It was ran completely by the inmates. The correctional officers were pretty much here to make sure they didn't get out.
Wow.
And there's not a lot of them. There's probably just a handful of them, but
Do you have a, excuse me.
really interesting to talk.
Yeah. What is one of the favorite stories that they've told you about this prison?
I don't know. The one guy told me that like this, he's just like all the inmates on the third tier were just drunk all the time. And I don't know if it's true or not. Like I said, it's stories. But
Right? But that's a story.
It's
yeah.
interesting to listen to.
And my question on that is, well, how did they get drunk? How did they get the alcohol?
You can make alcohol out of anything. If you got sugar and fruit, you can make alcohol.
So that's what they were doing.
Yep.
Wow.
You just let it ferment. It's the worst smelling stuff you'll ever smell in your life.
Yeah. Ugh, probably the worst taste.
Some of these guys are really desperate, so.
Yeah, that's great though. Wonderful.
And my mom tells me stories because during the big riot, my grandpa was the business administrator.
Okay, and what year was this?
59.
59.
59.
He was actually the last person that literally jumped over the railing of the stairways. They slammed the door closed.
Wow.
And he was on Jerry's hit list
Wow.
under the warden and the deputy warden. So
Oh my goodness.
I get stories too.
Yeah. So tell us one of your favorites.
Just that, that Grandpa had gotten warning from a couple of the inmates that it was going to happen, and he and his secretary in the business administration building, which is right over here, were just on their way trying to get out,
Wow.
and through Tower 7, and
Just in the nick of
just
time.
slammed the door behind them.
Wow. What do you have any information about that riot? The history
Jerry's
of it?
Riot, the book, is the best way to do it.
Best way to do it?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. And what are the statistics in that book? How many inmates were
There was
injured?
3 inmates
Three
died.
inmates that were
The warden was killed. The deputy warden, I think, was injured.
Okay.
I'm not sure of any others.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And I know the one inmate that died was actually killed in the tower by another inmate.
National Guard had to come in with a bazooka and literally shoot the building with a bazooka.
Which did nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I wonder
That was
if
more of
those,
I think that was more of a scare tactic.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if those 3 inmates are gonna be here. during
I'm sure they are.
They
Yeah.
said they are, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't go into that area.
no.
Yeah.
We leave that completely alone.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maxim's
we actually have,
scary enough.
yeah, and we had
Yeah.
have one of our actors that wanted to bring a Ouija board down in Max, and the more we've been discussing it,
It just sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
it sounds like a long term.
Right. Some things are better
For
left.
people who believe in paranormal, I mean, there's people who are like, "Pfft, whatever, it's not really haunted, there's no such thing as ghosts, but
Right.
those of us that believe,
Yeah.
I mean, and I've heard stories on the ghost tours. My dad told me a story once of this guy that went through who was a non-believer, and he was in one of the cells, either here or out in Max, I don't remember exactly where, but he was just being a smart aleck, started beating on the wall and screaming, and the next thing I know, his head snapped back and he hit the floor and got up with a bloody nose.
Wow.
So there's...
I would never doubt in my mind that there's on it.
Well, I think that shows that anyone who comes through should be respectful.
And we had one of our mannequin props last year that kept moving throughout the maze that nobody ever owned up to it.
And I don't know if And I mean, that could easily be one of our actors moving.
Being a joke,
Right.
But
the actors that were around it were
but
pretty
no one
freaked out
admitted
about
it.
it.
No one admitted it. Yeah. Well, I'd like to keep all the ghosts happy this Halloween
We
year.
do too.
So I think we should, spread the word that this is a great place to be, but be respectful.
yes, please.
All right. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming
Pleasure
down.
to have you. Yes. All right. Thank you.